Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now with CNI Solutions. As always, remember to like, share, and comment on this Facebook Live, as there could be some information useful not only to yourself, but to perhaps a neighbor or our friends. So things we got coming up with CNI Solutions. Next week, we'll be at the Bob Harrison Senior Citizen Center. We'll be offering our Some Bunny Loves You event again. As always, we are excited about that. The team is excited about that, to give out some great gifts and have some good dinner there for the Easter dinner for the senior citizens. We love going down there and we love supporting them as well. We also will be starting our Drake's Renew Ready entrepreneur class starting next week on the 15th. We have all of our applicants are in. All the new starters are ready for the class. We did a quick meet and greet with them last night down at Drake State, and they are excited and ready to go. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we got somebody special here tonight that I think you all are going to rather enjoy. She has a phenomenal story to tell. And if you pay attention, you're just going to be starstruck and awe as I was. So, but without further ado, I would like to introduce to you all Miss Shana Howard, the one and only. Shannon, welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good. So talk to us. Tell the viewers a little bit about you and your story.
I'm Shana Howard. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I moved here to go to Alabama A&M University, and so I was involved in a car wreck. I was in a coma for a month. I lost my speech. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I see double out of my left eye, and I'm just putting the pieces together. But I do it in the water. I now enjoy my life. We're teaching people how to swim and just appreciate what has been given to us, water. And so that's where we are now. And I've also written my 2 books about my brain injury as well.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to go back and help the TBI community and help them learn to socialize and fellowship so they can have life and they can have it more abundantly. So that's my story.
Car accident. How old were you?
I was 16. I turned 17 in a coma.
You turned 17 in a coma.
Yes, sir.
So for our viewers, what was that like coming out of that coma for the first time since the accident for you?
It was very frustrating because I couldn't do anything, and I saw everybody that I knew doing everything. So I became very depressed, suicidal, and I didn't have a reason to live.
Right.
So I tried to commit suicide because I was so frustrated with myself, and um, it was just very hard. And now that was 25 years ago, and I've been swimming for maybe 6 years. So this is like my real life. Like my real life
Right.
started 6 years ago. Even though I've gone to college, I was married, I have 2 children, but all of that just got me ready for now. I'm living life.
Right.
And I love it.
And talking backstage earlier with you, you even mentioned that you had to learn how to speak again and walk again because you had broken your femur, and so there was a lot of rehab that you had to go through.
Yes, and that's so I had to learn how to walk and talk, and that's very frustrating.
Yes.
Because your brain, when you have a traumatic brain injury, it's like your brain is wanting to do something that your body can't do. It's like they're not connected.
Right.
So you become frustrated, and all you do is you want to give up because it doesn't seem like there's a way, but there is a way. You just have to be motivated, put God first, and follow His light. And then when you get to the end of the tunnel, surprise.
I tell you what, Miss Howard, I love your spirit. It is just so full of energy, and it just makes you feel good. You kind of seem like you're the type of person that brightens up the room. So, how did you go from having a traumatic brain injury, TBI, to becoming a swim coach?
Okay, so I'm from Louisiana, and I have my sister and we used to swim every day in the summer when I was like before I moved to Alabama. So I moved to Alabama when I was in the ninth grade. So before that, we swam every summer, and I had no idea why I was being drawn to water. Like it could rain, it could be, but it doesn't matter. We're swimming as long as there's no lightning.
Right.
We're swimming, and so I just well, I realized that God was training me 25 years ago
Mm-hmm.
for this day to teach my um my students how to swim in 3 days. And usually sometimes it's like one day. Like it's pretty amazing. So I have all this energy because I have work to do in a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
was.
you said you're teaching people how to swim in 3 days. I got to tell you now, that seems a little far fetched for me. That's a kind of tough one there. I'm one of those ones they call an anvil swimmer, right? When I jump in, I just go blue 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 blue
Right.
blue blue blue. And so you're trying to tell me you can get me on top of that water in 3 days?
Yeah, because the only reason you sink is because you lean onto your own understanding. In water, you can't lean onto because it doesn't make sense. And the more you try to make sense of it, you go deeper, 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 deeper. And then when you finally get at the bottom, you say, I don't get it. And then you give up, and that's when you float back up to the top. And that's when I'm waiting on you to make it right.
Shoot, if it's me, ladies and gentlemen, she better be waiting for me at the bottom of that pool. But that's where I'm going to see her at. So, what age ranges do you teach?
So I start as maybe 4 years old because I'm not ISR certified. That's
Okay.
infant swim resources. You have to have a certification to teach babies.
Okay.
And I'm not ISR certified, but I can do it, but I can't because I'm not licensed.
Good. Do you find one age group is harder to teach than another? Like, is it easier for you to teach a 6-year-old how to swim versus a 46-year-old how to swim?
So I'm glad you asked that. That is such a great question. I think it's easier to teach adults, but I only think it's easier to teach adults because we know God more than a 12-year-old, 13-year-old.
Right.
So when we relate God to water, my clients just start swimming. Like they're like, oh, I can do this. And so that's where I love my students because they're fun and we can be animated and we can just like when we're swimming sometimes in the summer and the sun goes behind the cloud, I say, oh gosh, get ready. God is about to take your picture. So when he comes out, the sun comes out. It's like, show God what you can do. And so then they might put their face under the water and then the sun will go back behind the cloud. Say, oh, it's been developed. So I can use my imagination with my kids. But I'm able to understand God with my adults.
Right.
So, and I'm amazed too. So sometimes I'm blown away. I'm like, yeah. So it's really cool. It's a really cool experience.
Right. So besides being a swim teacher for the community, nonetheless, I have to say I don't get to see many minority women or men who are teaching swim lessons. Are you what we would call that 1%er?
Well, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah because it's not a lot of us can I use that word that promote swimming, not because we don't know how, it's just because we don't understand it because everybody knows how to swim. It's a life skill. Like God created more water than land, and so if you're allowed to walk the land, why would you not be able to swim? He never sets us up for failure. And so when people say they can't swim or they're afraid, it's like you're not set up to fail.
Right.
And so that's all a part of the class as well. Like you can't just be normal. Like you can't just be normal in the water with me. So
all right. So we got a question from one of the viewers. She says, after your accident, was it easier to learn to walk or swim?
Hey, it was easier to swim. I didn't even have to go through a training. I just got it in the pool and I just started swimming. Whereas walking that I do every day of my life, people had to train me. That's a great question. I've never thought of it like that, but that's true. I had to be trained, programmed
Mm-hmm.
to walk again. But in the water, I just started swimming.
So, and you might have kind of touched on this as well. We got another question from a viewer, real quick. I'll come back to mine. It says, "Would you happen to know the basis of the stereotypes of Black people's aversion to swimming?" And viewer, I'm glad you asked it because that's exactly where I was about to go with my question. Why is it that we, as African Americans, do not want to swim?
I'm glad you asked. It's because it's a generational curse. If you think about it, very, very long ago, we were thrown into the waters when we were slaves. So what happens is that's a mindset. So we were thrown into the water, and now when they were allowing black and white people to come together and swim, they said no. The Caucasian people said no. If we had to swim with them, I'd rather close the pool. So we never had the opportunity to swim. Now, if you go back, the biggest concern with my families is I can let my child swim because if they become distressed, I can't help. I can't swim. So why would I allow my son to do something I can't do? So we're breaking that. Like we are breaking it. So it's the generational curse because of the mindset. But as I'm training children at least 4 years of age, it's been broken. The curse has been broken.
You done said something there because my youngest son just called me the other day and he says, "Pops, do you remember when you had a jet ski?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember that. You never let me get on it. You never let me go out into the water." And the first thing I said was, "Because you know how to swim." Yeah. Like I just said, I was afraid that you might have drowned because I didn't really know how to swim to come save you. But I was brave enough to get on a jet ski, even though I didn't know how to swim. Right. But man, that is a good point. I never really looked at it that way.
And then when they did allow us to swim, they gave us enough water to cover our feet.
Right.
So as we grew up, it was afraid of water. Instead of water is life. Like it gives you life, but it was taken away from us. So now I'm breaking all that. We're invading everybody's space. Water is everywhere. So if you want to learn to swim, please reach out. I have a nonprofit on every third Saturday of the month. I have a free swimming session at the Dublin Park located on Madison Pike, and it's free. And you just come out, follow my page, and the information to do that will be displayed on the screen. But come out and have fun. It's just trying to see, um, take a take a look at your fear in the water and turn it the other way around. So
I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know me by now, I'm going out there for them lessons because
okay.
I desperately need to learn how to swim. I used to always say, I can swim just enough to save my life like this, but I can't really swim, like this and swim out there to that buoy and come back. No, I know how to swim enough to save my life. And with me, one of my problems is I feel, and I could be wrong, I feel I do my best swimming underwater as opposed to doing on top, doing freestyle.
Yes, and that's what most of my clients come in. The only reason everybody can swim underwater because they don't know how to come back up. So everybody stays underwater. That makes sense. But you have to come up because you have to breathe. You can't breathe underwater. So you have to come up to get air. And if you're underwater too far and you start panicking to come up, then you're like, I'm done with this. This is such a scary.
I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we got another question from the viewer. She says, how beneficial is swimming to arthritis and joint pain? Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. It's the best thing. It is made for that purpose. It's made for that purpose. It doesn't, you don't apply pressure. It's just it's like you can't understand it passes your understanding. I can't even explain it. It's an experience. There's no words to justify what it does. You just have to jump in and you understand what I was saying when you are in that moment. You can't explain water. You just have to take it and accept it and enjoy it.
But when you have a non-swimmer who has arthritis and joint pains, how do you get them into that water?
Yes, and then they tense up
Right.
because in water you have to surrender. Just like with our God, you have to surrender. Water and God is the same. And so something that we are so afraid of is the best thing for us to have. And if you do the research on the body of water, if you look at a body of water, it gives you peace, it gives you a better understanding. And African Americans, we are afraid of something that God wants to give us peace, but we're saying, no, I don't want that. But you do want it. And if you want it, if you just want to sample it, come out every third Saturday and at the Dublin Park. It's free. Put your head cap on and I'll take care of you. I'll be your little angel while you're in the water.
Oh, wow. Outstanding. Outstanding. We got another question from a viewer here. It says, what's the statistics on drowning in the Black community as kids and even adults?
Oh, God.
Ouch. Ooh.
And that's a big one. Now, it is high. It's
Really?
like if you look at a pie graph, I don't have one with me, but if you can research it on your own, and it's like 90% of African American children drown the most. Now, it's it's just alarming, and so I'm trying to break that by offering free lessons. If you can't afford it, that's not a reason for you to not be able to swim, because you have the ability, and everybody has the ability because God gave it to us. And
Right.
so I just want, the only reason we don't utilize it because we feel like, oh, you could tiptoe around water. I don't have to get in water. I don't need to learn. No, it's just a matter of time. There's more water than land on earth. So it's just a matter of time before you and water meet. And you have to understand what you need to do in order to survive.
Okay. All right. Got another question here. She says, when I look at a large body of water, it gives me panic and fear, not peace.
Right. I understand that because you're trying to lean onto your own understanding. But if you surrender and look at a body of water, let me know what the results are. There will be no pain, no fear, because you surrendered and it gives you a delight to be where you are, just being able to view it. So go back and do it without you trying to figure it out. Just enjoy the moment and then let us know.
All right, we got another question there. She says, oh, I am ready for my lesson. Sign me up, coach. So let me ask you something. Stereotypes or myths when it comes to swimming.
Mm-hmm.
What it was always said that if you are a big fat person, you should be able to swim well because all you're going to do is just float. Whereas I find myself sinking to the bottom. I say, hey, somebody lied to me.
Yes, that is not true. We're all designed to float. It is easier if you have more weight because it's like a balloon. But the skinniest person can float because 70% of your body is made of water. And because you have some more water, is when you will operate as a balloon. But the only reason your balloon is being deflated is because you're fighting the water. You can't win. Like there's no way to win. So you just have to surrender and enjoy it and let it take, because it'll lead you where you're supposed to go if you just relax. But if you still try to understand it and be in control, that's when you go to the bottom. But when you surrender, you stay on top.
Yeah. Interesting.
It is.
So let me ask you this. Why is it if we're in the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for you to do the float on your back than it is if you're in a pool?
The salt.
So it's the salt?
It's the salt. But I'm gonna say, Mr. Fry, I don't think there's no difference. I don't think there's a difference. If you can float, you can float. It's a mindset. And also the reason you float, the higher you float, is the more you surrender.
Okay.
The lower you are, it's because you're still trying to stay in control.
Still tense.
Yes.
Right.
But the more you relax, you just go higher and higher. Then you're like, how did I get up here? So yes, so it doesn't matter. I was just trying to think of something, but
All right, good deal.
Mhm.
So, besides as an avid swim coach, you are also an actual high school teacher and an adjunct professor at A&M.
Yes, yes.
Talk to me. What's that like?
So that is like the most rewarding experience as well. I'm just I'm created for students. I'm just created to be a teacher, and it just allows me to um spread the love. Like we just need love in different places and different times. And with me being in different places all the time, I can't ever stop loving people. So it just keeps me where I need to be so they can be where they should be. It's like teamwork. So
Right.
that's how it works.
Okay.
It just works like
All
that.
right. So, would you travel to teach someone how to swim?
That's my dream. That is my dream. For one day someone calls from California, like, I have my daughter. She is so afraid. I need you. And I'm like, oh, I'm on the plane. Let me go. That is my dream, to be a travel coach, swim coach. I'm a sports nanny on the
Right.
go in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm a sports nanny on the go. So I do birthday parties. I come to teach you how to swim. If you say your child can't ride a bicycle, I'll come and teach them in 3 days. Like, I have a lot of energy, but the energy is great because it allows me to be marvelous, but it allows my clients to be miraculous. Like, and we just work together and we come up with, at the end of the session, we come up with why we were there. So
I love that.
it's
Love
so
that.
cool.
Love
It's
that.
so
We
cool.
got another question here from the viewer. She says, "Is too much exposure to chlorine a thing? What is considered too much?"
It okay. It is a such thing, but use lotion. Make sure you lotion your body when you get out the water. I'm in the water in the summer from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock p.m. every day. Um, I guess it's okay, but you do get very dry.
Mhm.
But you have to use a lot of lotion and a lot of conditioner for your hair.
Mhm.
But it doesn't bother you. I mean, it's okay. It's chlorine.
So let me ask you this. And folks, I know somebody out there is going to clown me out there who's watching this. I just got to ask: is there such a thing as a dye in the pool when somebody pees, it turns it a different color?
No, that is unfair. No, that was, oh my gosh, so many people, so many secrets would have been shared if that was the case. No, that does not happen. If someone does use the restroom in the water, it's okay because it's chlorine. Chlorine kills everything. So it even kills COVID, like during the COVID time. Like, chlorine kills it. So you're okay. So you really have no reason not to swim. There's
Right.
no anything that you can think of is void because you would need to swim.
Right.
You need to swim.
All right. We got another question here. He says, does swimming make everyone smell? I tell you what, James, if she teaches me how to swim, guess who's going to be smiling all the way home? That's going to be me.
Yes.
And I'm going to be calling and telling everybody, guess who knows how to swim now? I bet you don't, but I do. Hey, let's go to the beach,
But swimming does make you smile because it builds your confidence. It's an experience that builds your confidence. You know who you are. You're not it it's just a mindset that you must have in order to understand life. And swimming is is amazing for depression, for suicidal, for even joints. You have bad joints, your legs. It makes everything right, guys.
Right.
So please get in the body of water.
Right. During the Montgomery Riverboat incident that we had here a couple years ago, the amount of support that young man got who jumped off the boat to swim to the dock was unreal. Because I think we as a people will say, "What? Look at him go!" Because we have never seen anything like that. And like this, and he was also inspiring. It makes you want to say, you know what? I really do need to learn how to swim. Like this, because if he can do that, I need to be able to do the same thing. Did you get a lot of people during that time saying, "Hey, Miss Howard, I need some classes. I need some classes.
I get it all the time, but it's just people that they want to do it. It's like something like you have to understand when you're by body of water. It's like it draws you near, and you're like, why do I want this water? But you're so afraid of it, and so it's because you were created to be drawn to water to enjoy it, and so it won't go away until you just get in. And with the guy, I bet if we were ever to interview him, I bet he didn't even know how to swim. I bet he was never swim.
He just started flaring his arms and went at it.
He saw a need and he executed. And I probably can bet that he never swam a day in his life. It's in us. Mm-hmm. It's always in us. And even when I teach my students, they'll start kicking before I'm even there. And I say, I didn't tell you to do that. How did you know? And he said, I don't know. It's in you. That's why you're doing it. You can't keep someone still from doing something that they are ordained to do.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's in us. It's just in us. And
man, that is awesome. That is awesome. Got a little statement here. I think what he says, as you say, water is life.
Yes.
Yes, water is life. Water is life. I love that. I love that. Yes. So, what is in 5 years? Okay. What is it that you plan to do? What do you see yourself up in 5 years?
In 5 years from today, mm-hmm. I see myself having my own pool so I can have my own hours, my own place, and I can allow people to just swim whenever they want to. I want to spread the love. And then I want to teach my students and my adults so they can go spread the love. And then it's just everybody knows how to swim and there's no fear.
And we were talking backstage, and for viewers of those who are watching, I don't think everyone really understands. It's not that easy for you to obtain pools to teach students how to swim.
No, that is a very hard thing to do, to find a pool. But we don't stop. I tell my students, if we could find a pond, we just need a body of water, just a little piece of water, so we can make it happen. But a lot of my clients rent hotels, mm-hmm. and so when you rent a hotel, I come there Friday night, Saturday morning, and maybe Saturday right before you have to check out, and so you have a great time at a hotel, and then you get to learn to swim, and then you get to practice your skills while I'm gone. So it's like really a thing that's how we do it. We duck and dodge, and we figure it out.
We got another question here from Ms. Fry. She says, have you ever been involved in competitive swimming? Would you like to?
No way. I don't want to do that. It takes away my joy because now I'm competing. Compete. I just want to enjoy the water. I just want to be free. And I don't want anybody to give me limitations, because if I'm trying to win, I have to win.
Right.
And then I'm missing my moment because I'm focused on winning instead of surrendering. So
right.
I don't
it's that whole thing. If you ain't first, you last, right?
Yeah.
Got another question. She says, is there a difference in swimming in a pool and a natural body of water? If so, what is it, and which is easier to swim in?
Okay, so a pool is most definitely the easiest because it's controlled. Or a body of water, let's say we go to the ocean or on the lake, the river, you're not in control. Nature is controlling that. So you have to be ready for that, because let's train in the pool and then we go out into the rivers to understand what we're doing, because it's hard to understand when nature's moving around you. To understand it, you have to understand it before you get there.
Right.
So that's why I'll say the pool is easier. Yeah. It's controlled.
So what would you say the most important thing that a person needs to know when they're learning how to swim?
The most important thing to know is to surrender. It is no way that you can be in control and to stay on top of the water. You're not in control. And that is the main thing with people letting go of who they are or what they know and understand their ability. It's hard to understand your ability when you're always in control. So you have to surrender.
Okay. All right. You know, a lot of times, and I've seen it when younger kids are jumping in pools and they can't swim, and then that parent gets in there to go save them, to pull them out, and they just start going like this, and they start pulling the parent down, and now they're in trouble. And then someone's coming trying to save the parent too because the child done pulled the parent under. What would be the safest thing for someone to do if they're ever caught in that type of situation?
If you're ever in a situation like that, hopefully there's a lifeguard near, but if there isn't, there should be something you can throw into the water, because that's very traumatic for a child and a mother to do that, because with the mother and the father being the backbone, being the head, and the child seeing mother and father struggle, it's going to make it even harder for them to even accept that water is your friend.
Right.
So do if you see your child near water, please don't discourage them and say get like we scream at our children because they're too close to the water when you're taking away something that has been given to them.
Right.
So maybe you can ask them to come on this end, or even explain why you're feeling the way you feel instead of creating a fear inside of them. So.
Right. You know, you talked earlier, you know, you're so full of energy.
Yeah.
Does that energy make you a better swimmer? Because hey, if you all who are watching, if you haven't been noticing Miss Howard's actions, her interactions, she has been on 150 since she's got to the studio. I mean, non-stop. So, and when the question was asked, do you swim competitively? In my mind, I'm thinking, man, if she don't, she should, because I'm sure she would win. I mean, so how do you ever slow down? Do you ever find out, I'm just so tired, I'm pooped today? No?
I don't. I really do think that my traumatic brain injury has taken me into a whole nother dimension that everyone should kind of join in. It's fun. It's kind of a cool place, and I never get tired. I don't get mad. I love people, and
right.
It's just
you've even mentioned that some people would question you, be like, hey, are you okay? Are you drunk or something? Or what's going on with you? You're like, I'm just happy. I can't smile.
Yeah. And that is sometimes like kind of like, oh, it's such a downer, but I don't let that kill my spirit. It's just more people are sad than happy. So people can relate more to sadness than happiness. And so I'm that's why I'm kind of advertising swimming, because it makes you so happy and you don't know it until you try it. And before you try it, you must commit to surrendering to water.
Right. So let me ask you this. You started your nonprofit and you got the BTI going on. What is something that we should know about people who have a BTI or TBI?
You should know that a person with a traumatic brain injury, you have to be patient. Give them the opportunity for you to understand them, but not with your understanding. It's a different world or a different mindset, and it's okay. We don't all want to have the same mind set on different things. So take advantage of that opportunity to allow you to grow instead of judge. Understand, and you probably will come out better than judging someone with a traumatic brain injury.
Right. Yeah. Okay, good deal. Got another question here. Ms. Ross, she says, were you always super energetic, or do you think you just appreciate life so much more after the accident? You have an amazing aura. She does. Guys, those out there, what Miss Fry just said doesn't even touch the surface of actually being right here with me. I mean, ever since we started, I've just been nothing but smiling ear to ear, because she's just so full of life. She is so full of life, and I can only imagine how her students must feel when you're there like this, like, wow, you're just so energetic all the time.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to be like this. People have to take, like, if you've been my friend for a while, like, you have to just get doses of me. Like, you have to go away and come back. And I get it, because I am a lot. But it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. I'm a lot, but it's a lot of fun. Like, we're never bored. We're never like, don't know what to do. There's always something to do because there's water everywhere. So we can always go and swim.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
And she said if I was like this before my wreck,
Mm-hmm.
me and you and I talked about that. I wasn't like this before my wreck. I was kind of compartmentalized, like certain. I had to be a certain way because trying to blend in instead of blend out. But now I don't care. I just do what I want to do because I'm not going to try to please someone else that doesn't even know who I am and what makes them right. They don't even know me. And
Right.
so I've just accepted that I'm gonna be Shauna. And if you like it, yay. If you don't, I don't know. Go ahead.
Hey, I tell you what, Shana, we do appreciate you coming in here
Yes.
and talking to us, folks. If you're looking to get one of her books, they're on Amazon. You can go to Amazon. We got Brain EAC Wonders, and along with Where's Brain EAC by Shauna Howard. I think this is just amazing, and you are an amazing person, and we are grateful for what you are doing for the community. Those who are here in the Huntsville area, by all means, we said it was every third Saturday. Every third Saturday at Dublin Park up in Madison. Hey, she's giving out those free lessons from what time?
From 1 to 2:30.
1 to 2:30. You know, I might have to go up there with my little speedos on and see what I can learn how to do because I'm tired of sinking to the bottom. You know what I mean? But hey, thank you for coming out. Is there anything you would like to share with the audience before we close?
Yes. Also, on every fourth Saturday, you could follow my page and we do a social with the TBI social. And what that does is allow us to learn how to socialize people with brain injuries. I'm saying a traumatic brain injury, but anything, that's just a title, but anything that you don't feel comfortable with, maybe speaking to people or interacting with people, maybe it's just a fear that you have. Come on out and let's learn together, and it'll be really, really fun.
Outstanding.
So my one on the fourth Saturday is going to be at the Academy Sports on the South Parkway. So from 6 to 7. So if you can come out, please come. It'll be fun, fun, fun.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, folks. Hey, we appreciate you guys for tuning in this evening. Please take time to share this broadcast with somebody who could use this information that Miss Shauna has. I mean, she's a wonderful person. Her number is on the screen as well, going across with her website. But by all means, please, 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 if you're looking to learn how to swim, this is the person who you want to learn it from. And as always, remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Good night.